Hello everyone and welcome. To many people, the world of specialty coffee may be a mystery. I know that for myself, many years ago, I certainly wouldn't have been able to tell you much about my coffee or where it came from. I consumed dark roasted double doubles from Tim Hortons and I enjoyed it. Sometimes I still do. But when I first started visiting smaller independent coffee shops, there was something different about them. There were menu offerings that I'd never seen before, like a pour-over. There was a lot of information on each bean, like the country it came from and the way that it was processed. Of course, I really had no idea what this meant for taste, but it all kind of caught my eye. And there was often this feeling that the people working behind the bar had some extra skills. They made my coffee with a level of precision and care that I wasn't really expecting with coffee. So I wondered what made them different. And if you're watching this video, you may be at a similar point in your coffee journey asking the same question. So let's talk about this together and see where you can go from here. Also, please remember to subscribe by hitting that button right below this video. You don't want to miss out on some future videos. So we may as well start by defining specialty coffee, and it goes back a little ways. This was a term first used and coined by Erna Knudsen in 1974 when she was interviewed by the Tea and Coffee Trade Journal. At the time, she was working as a green coffee importer, and she was pioneering a movement of selling smaller batches of coffee at very high quality to small-scale roasters, many of whom were largely being ignored by the bigger trading companies. At the time, there were very few of these types of roasters, as most of the coffee industry was dominated by massive companies roasting large batches of coffee at cheap prices. It was through her actions that specialty coffee began to take shape. The coffees being brought in were more unique, often being traced to single farms and lots, and they had more flavor. As time went on, many others, including Erna, would begin the tradition of going to the country of origin where they're buying their beans. This has also become an identifier of specialty coffee. The ability as an importer to say that they had gone to the origin and connected personally with the farmer. It gave more respect to the farmers and more awareness around what their role was in the coffee system. So it isn't that there was one strict definition of specialty coffee, but more that it was a movement towards an increase in quality, traceability, and connection with the farmers. A market that was once dominated by a few large corporations has since split dramatically, and there are now tens of thousands of small, independent coffee roasters in North America. So if this is specialty coffee, where do you fit in? Well, start by visiting a local roaster. Ask them about the beans they have on sale, and look for companies that are passionate about their products. A lot of times, the more information they have on their bags, the better. You also may want to get used to drinking black coffee if you aren't already. I know this can be harder for some people. Believe me, I drank Tim Hortons for several years before I got into some of my local shops. But part of the journey of specialty coffee is exploring the amazing natural quality of the coffee bean. You want to taste as many coffees as you can from different regions with different processing methods, but you don't need to get hung up on all those details right away. Just pick any coffee, try it out, and you'll probably be surprised at how wide the spectrum of flavor can be. If you want to engage with your local coffee community on a deeper level, I would say the next most important thing to do is to learn. Specifically, you should learn about the journey that coffee takes from bean to cup. I really like how the SCAA breaks down specialty coffee in one of their articles as the sum of many parts that must move in harmony with one another. It starts with the farmers who work in certain climates and conditions and treat their beans in a certain way. They sell to the importers who often assess the quality of the green beans. They then sell to the roasters who manage the life of these beans and carefully roast them to bring out the most flavor potential. These roasted beans then go on to the barista, who turns them into a delicious final cup, before they finally end up with you, the consumer. You fit into specialty coffee when you understand that you are part of the chain. You may think it ends with the barista, but without the consumer who seeks out and demands specialty coffee, there is still a disruption in the rest of the chain. To take part in the specialty coffee industry, we all have to realize that it's not just about drinking the highest quality coffee. It's not about using pretentious language or finding the most advanced brewing techniques. Specialty coffee is, in many ways, still an ongoing movement. If we want to keep it going, we may need to pay more for our beans or our morning cup of coffee. But if it means that the farmers can actually make a living off of what they do and are paid properly, they are more likely to continue producing higher quality coffee as opposed to large volumes of lower quality products. This movement is like a project to try and preserve and set a standard for a level of coffee that was non-existent for decades before. Now, I know that this was a lot of thinking and conceptualizing, but the bottom line is, if you've got a passion for really great coffee, just roll with it. Try as many as you can. Learn as much as you can. Dive deep into the depths of coffee just as you would with wine or the world of cheese. And I really don't think you'll be disappointed with what you find. So that's going to do it for me. I really hope that you'll consider subscribing, as it helps me out a lot. Make sure you comment below if you've got a story of how you entered the world of specialty coffee. I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day.